That's the only law they can give you. But they can tell against you any time. So that statement that was made, if you made that statement, my dear colleague, if you made that statement, it's a political joke. During the campaign, we can throw to everybody. But they are not part of politics. For them, they were paid to protect the president. So when you say, I will steal the president convoy, they honor obligation. They honor obligation as a security. So all the precautions that they are taking today, your security, don't enter. They don't know the strength of your own security that you are carrying. And with the statement that was made, if you made a statement, and allegedly, you are not listening to it, then we really need to find a way forward how we can settle this thing, because you are a state person. You represent almost 250,000 people.
Almost 2 million.
The 250,000 voted you, not 2 million.
Now, only 250,000 people living in Waterloo.
I'm talking about the people that voted you on the streetways. Yeah, I get almost 300,000 people in Nigeria. So, my RG, this place is the place of elders. You see, in the other Chima, they will just take decision in your absence, and they embarrass the executive for that decision to be implemented. But to tell you, we are elders. When you come here, you left all your business schedules and honor the invitation of the Senate, the committee, the specialized committee to look into the matter. So when you come here, your emotion, you should relax it. I know you in uniform, all uniform people can be emotional, but you will know that you're addressing the distinguished senator. So even when you're talking, say, honorable senator, he or she in the legislature will know that our security apparatus are very trained, because sometimes we travel, we see other officers, even to stop you in the traffic to ask for your lesson. When they finish saluting you, fortunate to give you a lesson. But in Liberia, I work with the police. When they stop you, you just won't go underground. Because the manner, the literature, it can't even permit you to even say hello to them. So being an RG for the National Police, your body language in our chamber today against my distinguished colleague, I think the next time when you appear before the House of Representatives or the Senate, you see the director of EPS, maybe sometimes we'll tell you we're having private, when we're having a kind of hearing, we'll ask you to come in your white, so we will know that you're coming with purity, so we can know that you're coming because you come in like this, you come in like police, military, like PSU and EROU, because I think I'm going to where to take action. This place is not an action place. So, my distinguished colleagues, I rest, and I will come back for the closing. Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable co-chair.
Honorable Chair, distinguished colleagues, my apologies, I had to leave because we anticipated that the hearing would have been over before I scheduled dealing with the Adventist University in Accounting, the highest audience with me, so they were there and I had to go to speak to them briefly. But basically one thing was established here. I'm quite sure some of you were here when this matter was raised and thoroughly debated. We heard some of the assertions made on account, some other accounts from other senators who were on the field the same day. But Senator Dillion indicated that he'd been specifically targeted. And I think to some extent that was established by the IGA's statement that yes indeed, he'd been watched with evil eyes because of threat he made against the president. So that is established that the security or the security apparatus had problem with Senator Dillion because of statement allegedly made by him. His presentation corroborated the account presented to us by Senator Dillion that indeed there is a friction between the security and him. The statement by the IG established that. Also, like the panel said, the director for EPS, what transpired here in terms of his posture and his mode of presentation also established a friction between him and Senator Dillion. Even though they indicated that they have always accorded, or they will always accord members of the legislature due respect. But the mode of presentation did not establish that. And I'd like to be clear on that because it's about the future. So we have heard from them and we have seen what transpired here and taken into consideration the totality of all that has expired. My request would be that we take what we have heard, what we have seen, back to committee room. We deliberate and then draw home our findings and subsequently make our report to plenary. Thank you.
The health minister said, "Remember not touching man." He always pray over my life to my head together.
The battery finished. And I Chinese battery. No replace it. No battery can replace it. Again, I think this was a good year. We have further opportunity to dissect some of the problems listening to the actors. And concerning that the security sector reform is a reform that is ongoing. Our own idea and own philosophy into the going forward of our security sector reform will be embedded in the communication sense. Indeed, I co-chair this ad hoc committee, and I chair the committee on security intelligence and those issues. We need to look at the security sector reform, the Act, the 2011 Security Sector Reform Act, the issue of elevating the threat analysis that the IGP spoke about. A lot of issues that we've been able to be clear on this issue. So I may not want to bore us with much of the talking. I took a lot of notes. Much is expected of me, understandably. I become passionate about this. I found out with interest.
Policeman.
There are some issues that we prefer to document. Right. And then we will document that at the appropriate time. And then we hope we all can find a way forward. Because it's hard time that we need to de-escalate the tension. As we speak, there have been thrown up petrol bombs on 2 occasions. I think we need to take our time and resources and effort to walk those kind of threats. Then the threat that someone walk back home. When someone walk back on the threat, we need to level it, lower it. At this moment, I want to allow the chairperson to close us. And then, because the chair look at me and say, well, it would get it. We allow the chairperson to close up on this. And then we will do the necessary documentation so as to ensure that oral testimony will not vitiate what is written. Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, distinguished colleagues. No, we'll close. colleagues. I want to thank the two of you for the presentation. I also want to thank our colleagues, my colleagues, for their patience. We should have started this by 1:30. We started very late. And we are still here. I think this is in the interest of our country. All of us should be reminded of our past, our recent past. Including all of us, Dillion, ourselves, and our national security actors. Our past as it relates to security is not a good one. We fought a brutal civil war. As a result, we lost our national sovereignty that placed the security of this country in the hands of people from different countries for a number of years. Until 2017, I believe, when Omel left and gave us back our sovereignty. Now, we have a few years now when we assume responsibility of our own security. Those of you in the security sector, we understand the passion, the way you want to protect the president. That's understandable. We understand that. Rightfully so. That's what the laws say. All we can say is that, I can say is that, be professional as much as possible. Remove personal feelings from the security operations. My own thinking, we're going to report, we took notes. But it's not a good thing that we have one of our colleagues who will listen to the IG and we watch the exchange between the three of them. That's not a good thing. Yes, we're going to make our report. What's the end result? My appeal to our colleague, my brother Senator Dillion, and the national security actors is that we need to resolve this.
Of course.
RJ, Director Roberts, are you listening? This has to be resolved. Today, you have made a statement that is people going to hold to you. When we started the hearings, and as we watched the video, we saw the presentation, it was like, so what is the issue? But then the IG came with that statement that caught our attention, that the security is watching our colleague. It's not a good thing for all of us. And so IG, I know you spoke what is true, the view being held by the national security. My colleague, Senator Dillion, here you have 2 million people, as you say, ready at any time to come to your. But we almost agree that it's not a good thing that we live with here, and one of our colleagues, a senator of this county, that is posting all of us that the security sector will have an eye over him because of statement he made during the campaign. We need to resolve those things. And I show two of you will agree with me. Given our past, where we're coming from, our history, the way the international community is watching how we handle our own security, I'm sure the two of you will agree, and all others will agree, that we need to resolve this. And so, as a committee, we're going to go back to our committee room. Maybe we will call you to another meeting, but this time maybe it will be a committee room. Will not be public. We allow today for us to be public hearing because the issues have gone in the public. And so when your side order decides to go to the public, but the resolution, we have to sit in-house in the committee room to resolve it. It's done good for all of us. And so we have taken notes. I'll ask all of you, Senator Dillion, let's remain calm. This is before this Liberian Senate. IG, Honorable Director, know that this issue is before the Liberian Senate, so let us stay put until we can get to all of you for a final resolution. Let us leave this room with that determination, with that thinking that this country cannot go back to where we come from. Our history tells us, our most recent history tells us that these things start small. For me, I have lived throughout our crisis. I never left this country. I know how they started.
Well, welcome. If you just
It starts very small, but
We
in the
are
twinkling of an eye,
live coverage
they
of
explode
the public hearing
uncontrollably.
between Senator Dillion and the
We
Joint
cannot go back there.
Security as it relates
And so,
a complaint
colleague, Senator,
Senator Dillion brought
let's
before
cool,
the Liberian Senate that
take calm. This is about the country.
has been
Country
targeted
security.
by the Joint Security.
It's not a good thing to hear from
At
the one who superintends the entire security to say they're keeping an eye on you. It's not a good thing.
for this committee.
We need to resolve it. And so I want to say thank you to all of you, members of the press, people in the gallery, who have listened. Let us all leave from here as Liberians that we should not go back to where we're coming from. And so whatever issues we have that exist between the security sector and our colleague needs to be resolved. And so hopefully next week the committee is going to call you so that we can go in-house to see how we can bring this matter to closure. On that note, I want to say thank you again, thank you colleagues.
Wow.
And as chair on this committee, I want to say that this hearing are now closed.